Home away from home back in Texas, but we're at a new spot, guys. I've been to this location one other time before, about 6 weeks ago. Played a 1-2 session. I just made a short out of it though, because we didn't play for too long. Not long enough anyway for a full vlog, but got the text saying to pull up for a bigger 2-5 game. And of course, my response, say less. We get into town around 7 o'clock because of the time change. It's already dark out and we get started right away. There's a seat available, an end seat at that, so perfect. And before we get into the hands, I gotta warn you, this session has just about everything that you can imagine that could happen in a poker session, all combined into one. So you're gonna wanna stay till the end. Like I said, it was a 2-5 game with a $2,000 max, so that's what we start with, and literally 5 minutes into the session, we're already all in. We have ace-king suited. There's an under the gun open to $15. The next act folds, action on us, and we 3-bet to $50. It folds to the button, who makes a call. The blinds fold. The under the gun decides to go with it. He goes all in for more, 165. Which now opens up the action. The button has around $600 total in a stack, and I don't really want to go heads up out of position with this hand, so let's just get it in right here, right now. We announce all in. And right away you can see the button picks up his cards to show his neighbor. He doesn't like the situation at all. He takes his time, but eventually folds. Our opponent asks us if we want to run it once or twice, and as usual, I don't care, so off to 2 runouts. The first board we flop an ace, we should be good there, and the second board we flop a flush draw, so feeling pretty good about that one as well. But we don't improve on that board, besides he bowed up with pocket 3s, so a chop. The button said after he had pocket 9s, so we got the best hand to fold, pre-flop anyway. Moving on though to another all-in, we're in the hijack in this one. There's a few limpers before me, and we look down at Jack 9 of diamonds. I like these hands, and in later position as well, so we make it more, $25 to go. The big blind calls. He's the same player who told us he had 9s on the button. We've played against each other before, so perhaps he wants some revenge. The under the gun 1 calls, and the low jack calls as well, so not really ideal going 4 ways to a flop. The good thing about these middling suited cards, whether they're connected or gappers, a higher board comes, you can represent being the pre-flop aggressor. And if middle cards hit, they hit your hand. So some playability. The flop comes, and it does come those middling cards. We have an open-ended straight draw. Not a diamond to be seen though, but that's okay. I was debating on what to do with this board texture, whether we should c-bet or check. But we don't get that chance because the low jack leads out for $50. Probably give or take what we were going to make it if we did decide to c-bet. So we easily make the call. The big blind calls and the under the gun 1 folds, so down to 3. Looking for some help, and the turn gives us that help. It's beautiful. It's the queen of hearts. We have the absolute nuts. The big blind checks again, and now the low jack slows down, getting 2 callers, which makes sense if he had a top pair hand on the flop, and an overcard coming would definitely slow him down. But we're not going to do anything like that. We're not going to play sneaky. We have a hand. We're going to bet it. We fire out $120. The big blind gets out of the way, and the low jack calls right away. I think he's drawing dead, or close to it. But a nice clean blank on the river would make me feel a hell of a lot better. But it's the opposite. It's the 8 of spades pairing the board. We no longer have the nuts, which sucks. He only has around $230 left in his stack though. So if he rivered us, so be it. He checks, and only one option for us. We jam all in. And with maybe a brief second of hesitation, he snap calls. A little too quick for my liking, but I say I have a straight, and he says those magical words, "You're good." He gives his cards back to the dealer face down, but he said afterwards he had an 8, which I can see makes sense. I guess it's 2 for 2 in all-ins thus far. Let's keep things going. And we do in this next one. There's a dealer's choice bomb pot every time this red bomb pot button got to the dealer. So every orbit basically. And this one was a basic double board PLO bomb pot, and it wasn't too interesting. We flop a set on one board and draws on both. We keep betting on the flop and on the turn till everyone folds. Pretty simple. This next one, however, there's a $15 button straddle at this location. Like most locations in El Paso, I think, you can straddle to any amount that you want to. They were saying before I showed up, the guy who we beat with the straight straddled to like $300 his whole stack. So pretty sick way of straddling, but this one was only $15. The small blind limps for 15, the big blind follows. Next to fold, we look down at pocket eights in middle position. Love-hate with this. I don't like going multi-way with middling pairs, so we make it more, $75 to go. Probably should have made it more, like 80 or 85, but it is what it is. It folds to the button, and he goes all in. The blinds fold, and action on us. He didn't look like he had much left behind. I asked the dealer to make sure he didn't have like any greens or hidden blacks that I couldn't see.
Is this like 200? Or, I mean, it's yeah. If it's only the yellows, then yeah.
How many times?
Once.
And alright, this is actually the first time I say one time, because usually when people ask, I say it's up to them, but hear me out. Since I've been here, they all have ran it 2 times, and I think I've seen all but one chop, and even us have chopped. So I told the table and encouraged all of them, screw this chopping shit. One time for blood. I'm running it one time from now on this night, so one time it is. The flop comes all 10s, and he had pocket 7, so 7s versus 8s, cooler. Glad to be on the right end of it. This night couldn't have started any better. I joke around after this hand. I look at my watch and I'm like, alright guys, probably gonna call it a night. They all stare at me, start going off. I'm like, chill, just kidding. It took me 3.5 hours to get here. I'm not leaving. Gonna stay until they turn the lights off. So I've already shown you some of our all-ins, and it wasn't just us doing them. It seemed like every orbit there was at least 2 all-ins. It was crazy. Like here there was a 3-way all-in for like $300 or $400 each pre-flop. It was just insane. Also, another thing they had, and I don't know if it was just Thursday for Thursday Night Football for the home team, every time they scored any points, like a touchdown, field goal, or a safety, they threw in $50 as a splash pot. And to make it a little more, everyone put in $5 extra. So just to build the pot a little bit, and we did like a 9-way board flip. And this night they didn't score too much. I think they scored twice, a touchdown and a field goal. So only 2 splash pots. And out of those 2 hands, we actually won one. I think we had 2 pair, like aces and 8s. Too bad, like I said, it was a low scoring game. Imagine if it was a high scoring game, doing like 6, 7, 8 splash pots for $50 each. Free money, why not? So a lot of action and shenanigans happening, like this next one. This was happening a lot. People were going all in, sometimes blind and sometimes looking for a few $100s at a time. It didn't really matter either if the straddle was on or not. So 2 $5 blinds, then all in open for a few $100s. Like here, the guy to our right jams for almost 400. Yeah, a straddle was on, but $400 and all in. Like I just need a decent hand, but we look down at a lame 7-4 offsuit. Can't really do much with that, and no one called either, so didn't see what he had. But we get involved with the same player shortly after. We're on the button. There's an early open to $15. There's like 3 callers, and we look down at pocket 5s. Again, multi-way with small to middling pairs. Not the best idea, so we try and get rid of the BS. Could have maybe gone a little bit bigger, but because of our position, I think $90 is fine. Only the guy we were talking about makes the call, and I guess I wasn't paying attention because I go to return my hand to the dealer. I just saw a lot of cards going to the muck, but the dealer's like, nah, you gotta call her. Oops, a total brain fart moment, I guess. Oh well, our raise did its job in getting down to heads up. The flop comes queen high, a super dry board. We don't hit, but I don't think we have to win this hand. So when he checks to us, we make a continuation bet of $55. I didn't expect to fold right away. He makes the call. The turn is a good card for our range. It's the ace of diamonds. He checks again to us, and one more bet gets the job done. He folds when we bet out for $115. The very next shuffle, we upgrade tremendously to the best starting hand in poker, pocket aces. There's an under the gun straddle to $25 and a call from the guy to our direct right. Action's on us, and I've been playing at this table for a few hours now, and almost every time a big straddle is on, it rarely stays that amount. Either someone raises or majority of the time the straddler makes it big. So we get sneaky, hoping anyone makes it more. The button gets out of the way, the small blind calls, the big blind mucks as well. Crap, our last hope is the straddler. He looks at his cards and does bail us out. He goes all in for a total of $210. Hell yeah, this is what dreams are made of, but can't get too excited just yet. There's other players still left in the hand that have much more money than that. So gotta calm down, chill. The guy to our right folds right away. I asked the dealer how much it is, like we care. But like I said, the small blind is still left in the hand. So hoping he comes along when we just smooth call. It's good thinking, but it didn't really matter because he folds about 5 seconds later. I raise my finger to our opponent, saying one time without saying anything. He asks if I have an ace. I show him one, then spread them to show the other.
Ah, golly. The pro gets aces? Oh, verga, güey.
Can you show it? Thank you.
We turn a set, which was salt in the wound, aces versus kings, all in pre-flop. What a hand to have in your straddle, geez. Kings on a 5x straddle. That's like a $100 game straddling to $500 and having kings. Just an insane situation. The very next hand, we're about to get it all in again. We look down at ace queen offsuit. The $10 button straddle was on, and the guy we just stacked bought in for $100 and goes all in blind without even looking.
100. He's all in?
Yep, he's all in for $100. All right, this is happening, all in blind, and we have a premium. It falls to us. We have to raise, right? Like, this is a slam dunk situation raise. Because I can't really think of a situation where I just smooth call this. So we do raise 3x to $300, honestly hoping just to not have to go 4 or 5 ways to a flop. But I think the cutoff had the same idea because he jams for like $1,400 or $1,500. And I just sink into my seat because no way this is a bluff. Like, never in a million years is this a bluff. He's not an OMC by any means. He's a younger guy too, but no way he's jamming for that much knowing we have him covered. Ace King suited plus. I'm willing to bet my life on it. Like, I'm that confident. The table is going nuts because of the action, and I'm just done with the hand. You can even see I have my cards ready to muck. Action not even on us. The button is still debating, and after a decent tank, he jams for his remaining $350. And unfortunately have to watch from the sideline, and we just switch our blacks out for greens because at the time we were the only ones that had blacks, so I wanted to keep them.
I think your ace is better than mine, that's why. Yeah, his ace is better. Huh? No. Me? Ace queen. Fucking dude. I shouldn't have done that, especially when he asked, like, how much is it?
You heard him say ace king, so he had ace king and the button had ace king. I don't really remember what the big blind had, but Ace King split the pot. All low cards came. Well, obviously, because we all had them in our hands. They were like, what'd you fold? I was like, Ace Queen. They're like, oh my God, you folded Ace Queen. I was thinking to myself, like, that's the easiest fold I probably have ever done in a really long time. I didn't film the rest of the hand. I was kind of bugged at myself, to be honest. You can hear it in my voice. I shouldn't have raised because the guy to our left perked up and asked how much he went all in for. So that rat away should have been a live tell, like alarm bells should have been going off that he had a hand, but I was just in the moment, in the zone really, because we're running so hot and another dream situation was presented to us. So that kind of overshadowed our focused, solid poker play. So learn from this. A tip for you guys, like I've said many times before, be aware of your surroundings. Listen to how people talk, how and what they say. Body language, a thing I preach so much, but in the moment, and we let our emotions and the sun run get to us. We have to play on though. We play it chill for about an hour. Don't really get too involved until this hand comes about. It's a dealer's choice bomb pot. Remember I said earlier when that red bomb pot button gets to the button? That's us on this hand. We get to choose the game. So we decide to play Omah-Stud. For those of you who are new to the channel, Omah-Stud is one board. You play Omaha for half the pot, and the best hand in your hand is the stud portion for the other half of the pot. I have videos explaining it in a little bit more detail. I'll link them or I'll pop them up somewhere here on the screen so you can watch those to get a better understanding of what's going on. Long story short, we have nothing on the board. Don't even remember what was on there. So only playing our hand, which is 2 pair. And with only 5 cards in our hand, 2 pair is a solid one. There's us and 2 other players involved. We go for value at the end, $125, and get both to call. We say nothing on the board but 2 pair in our hand, and the guy to our left flips over a better 2 pair in his hand, aces and sevens. So I thought our 2 pair was big enough, but apparently not. So lost a few hundred in that one. No big deal though, right? This next one, there's a $10 button straddle. We're in the big blind with ace-10 offsuit. We put in $5 more. Maybe should have raised, but we don't this time. The under the gun one does the raising, $35. The button straddler calls $25 more, and so do we. So we go 3 ways to a flop. And this is where not the best ace out of position can really get you into trouble. Hitting top pair, but in no man's land out of position, not being the aggressor, we check and flow, and the under the gun one makes a continuation bet for $45. The button folds, and not much to do besides call. At least we're heads up now. The turn is 5, brings in the backdoor flush draw, but we check to see what he wants to do, and right away he decides to check back. I still think we're behind a hand like ace king, ace queen. You don't always have to go for 3 streets of value with top, maybe keeping the pot manageable, but that's just me. So honestly, hoping for help on the river, which does come, it's a 10 of spades. Now in the driver's seat, hoping he does have a hand like ace king, ace queen, we have to go for value. There's $200 in the middle, so we go a little over half pot and throw out 5 greens. He looks back at his cards and announces call. Seems like good news to us. We say 2 pair, thinking we're good, but he says straight. Jesus, was not expecting that. Again, for a second time, thinking we're going for value, but he binks a 3 outer for a gut shot. I guess lucky the spades came, slowed him down a little bit, but we lose again a few hundred in that one as well. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This better not start a avalanche effect and we just lose everything. There's a few small hands we don't show, just losing because we raise and get 4 callers and don't hit, so cutting more into our profit for sure. Shortly after, we look down at this beauty. We start filming late. I'll explain a little bit more in a minute, but we have ace king suited. We open to $20 and get 2 callers. The flop is perfect, it's ace high. We don't get a chance to c-bet because the big blind leads out for $30, which was odd, but I've played with this player before and he does some odd things from time to time. So we just call, as does the cutoff. The turn is a good card. It's a 10 of diamonds. Less chance he has ace 10 or pocket 10s. So we like it. The big blind doesn't slow down though. He bets again, $85 this time. I think we got him right where we want him. We have him out kicked. So we're just going to keep letting him do his thing. We just call again. The cutoff realizes he's no good and folds. So us and the big blind off to a river. And it's a blank, perfect card. Action on him, and honestly thinking how much is he gonna make it, and he goes a little smaller than I was expecting, $185. I'm still satisfied with that amount. I take a half second and snap call, and he flips over a hand I wasn't expecting, 10-8 offsuit. Wow, I mean, he did have many glasses of wine this night, but dang, that one kinda hurt. With that one and losing the last few hours, we're only up around $400 or $500. I'm like, hell no, I drove this far and only gonna make a small profit. This is not happening. So getting a little anxious at this point and frustrated, but have to stay focused. This one we start filming again late, and I'll explain why now. I was back and forth playing my shorts and videos on their TV, so I had the Roku remote on my phone. I was trying to reach that 1,000,000 views milestone. I only needed a couple thousand, so I was doing what I could to boost those numbers up a little bit, not gonna lie. You'll find out at the end if we hit it or not, but yeah, just being real, that's what I was doing. But we have king queen suited in the cutoff in this one. We raise it up to $35 after a few limps and get both blinds to make the call. The flop comes jack high, 2 diamonds, so not a whole lot for us. When they check, we just decide to see a free card, which hits us. We have top pair now. The small blind checks again, but the big blind takes initiative and bets out, and bets big over the size of the pot, $160. Pretty strange. Some alarm bells are going off. I guess this card adds more draws, so he could have a pair and flush draw now, or both straight and flush draw. So seems more like a please go away kind of bet to me. We go into the tank, take our time, and eventually make the call. The small blind mucks right away, so now we're heads up. And the river is a total blank. Let's see if he wants to keep telling his story. And all I'm thinking is, please don't go all in. I thought this player might, but he checks. Now I'm thinking, can we maybe go for some thin value here? But if our read was correct and he's on a mega draw, he's not calling anything. Only hand we can really get called by is queen 9 or queen 10 of diamonds. So we check back. He doesn't want to show. We wait and he says king high and get a win under our belt finally, which feels really good after all this time. After that though, another stretch of nothing happening, staying where we are chip wise until an all in goes down. It's a straddle hand. We raise it up to 85 with kings in the under the gun. The button and the small blind make the call. The flop comes queen high. The small blind checks. We c-bet over the size of the pot, $275. The button, who has 350 in his stack, goes all in. The small blind gets out of the way. And we obviously snap call for not much more. He asked if we have a set or this hand or that hand. I'm like, no, try again. He said he's live at least, so have to dodge some cards. I don't know which ones though. The turn pairs the board and the river's a blank. We show and it's good enough. We take it down.
I wasn't even filming, to be honest.
You saw my hand, right?
Hey, I better appear on the vlog.
Yeah.
No more alcohol.
Gotta love when drinks are flowing and people are having a good time. Fun group of guys for sure, and a decent sized pot coming our way. This is the last interesting hand of the night, which happens in orbit later. I'll just show a still frame, because again, we just get the aftermath, but we look down at Jack 9 of hearts. There's only 4 of us now at this point. We're in the cutoff, or the under the gun, however you want to look at it. There's a $15 button straddle. The small blind raises to 45. The big blind calls. We're next to act. We call. And the button calls. So family pot. And it comes ace high with a couple of hearts. All things considered, it's alright. The small blind first act c-bets to $50. The big blind gets out of the way. We make the call. And the button gets out of the way. So down to heads up. The turn gives us some more help, but still leaves us with jack high. The small blind again continues, and he bets $120 this time. I was debating on whether to turn my hand into a bluff, but if we miss, what are we gonna do? It's like one of those situations. Let's just try to hit. Come on, black 7, black 7, black 7. Nope, not a black 7, but a red queen. We bink a very disguised straight. He slows down this time and checks on over to us. He has around $2,000 in his stack, but the pot isn't crazy big, not big enough to go a 3x jam, and I want to get paid. So we go big, but not massive. We throw out $650. He takes maybe a second or two and makes a call. Just a non-believer. We say straight, and he says the straight's good. Poker is really so much easier when you hit and not have to bluff jam to get a fold. And that pretty much broke the table. There was around $10,000 on the table, but only 4 players, good players. So we kind of just nodded our heads to each other and decided to call it a night. It goes from being a full table, and slowly but surely, one after the other, they drop. So only the strong survive this night. Crazy, wild session, and hope for many more to come here in the near future. I appreciate the invite. Hope to get back here soon. And here's the live official outro.
All right, I'm gonna make this short. I mean, most of you guys don't even watch the outro anyway, but it was a really good night out here in El Paso. A new spot. What is it? The club. I mean, the club. Live poker. A new spot. We've only been here once, I think. We filmed a short. Yeah, we filmed a short. It was just 1-3. It was super late, and I wasn't gonna try to film a vlog at like 3-4 in the morning. So have only been here once, and finally made a whole vlog. Got an invite, and we show up. That's what we do. We get invites and we play. If there's places that I can play and film at, I'm gonna play and film at. That's just that's it. But again, I don't know whether I'm more excited that we won almost $2,000 or I got 1 million views tonight. I mean, I was there on their TV. I was like, "Hey, give me the Roku. Give me." I'm really trying to get this million. I mean, is that cheating? I don't think that's cheating. I mean, if it's cheating, whatever. Screw you guys. But we got 1 million views tonight, and I don't know. Just that's kind of a huge milestone. I mean, it says 1M on like the analytics. Like, it's crazy. It doesn't say 900 and whatever K. It says 1M. Like that's super cool. So again, I think I'm more excited about that than doing really well in this session. But yeah, that's another night in El Paso. Hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video another thumbs up, because I know you guys already did, but keep that like momentum going. Again, 1 million, to the moon. Let's freaking go. But hope you guys enjoyed all these videos. I appreciate you guys' support through all these. I think we have almost 200 videos. I mean, I think half of them are shorts, half of them are videos, but still insane. We're doing this for 2 years, and let's just keep going. I mean, this is fun. I mean, the editing does suck, I'm not gonna lie, but playing, meeting everybody, and just, I don't know, I guess I'm talking to myself now, so it's not that cool. I mean, empty parking lot, but no, it's seriously a blast doing all this stuff, and I appreciate you guys supporting. So keep on doing that. Thank you. But I don't even have my hat today. I'm Matty Ice. This is Games Poker. No hat, but peace out still.